Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. If this is the very first time you watch my videos, just as you know, most of my channel's videos were recorded in Chinese, but I will record the machine learning algorithms knowledge in both Chinese and English version. So welcome to my channel again, and let's just get started. In the last two videos of machine learning, we took a quick look at all the content we are going to learn and all the prerequisitory. Starting from today, we will officially start learning our very first topic, supervised learning. The very first question would be, what is supervised learning? The supervised learning algorithms use the labeled example for training, so in details, the input samples are normally with known desired outputs. Let's see some real-world examples and get more familiar with this type of algorithms, or seeing we can at least have some feelings about what kind of problems that the supervised learning can solve. The first scenario is like an email spam filtering system. Almost everyone uses email every day. So in order to simplify user experience, email providers help us classify all received emails and divide them into different categories. The most useful case is spam filtering. Since not all the emails are benign, the system will help us to filter out the malicious emails in case we happen to click on any of them. Since we can get rid of all the risks of malicious emails, we will not mess up the computer system or cause any adverse effects. The second scenario we would like to discuss is a film feedback system. After watching a particular movie, some people may want to just post the feedbacks or just rate the movie. So this system is usually more complex than a classification system. However, at this point, let's just only regard it as a simple system that can show whether a particular movie is good or not. Based on the user's historical data, we can understand that the user's preferences so that we can recommend them movies that they maybe just get interested in, kind of a part of the recommendation system. So we can see it like, if only for the classification purpose, we just want to know if a particular movie is interesting or not. Okay, now we are knowing some of the use cases. Let's just say how supervised learning will train the model in general. Let's go through this steps by steps through the diagram of the flow. In the first stage, we need to collect some input data and the corresponding correct output. For this case, in this picture, we need to grab some Apple data and mark each one as Apple. Then we input the input data set into the model and let the model learn from the input data set. So during the learning process, the model compares its actual output with the correct output to find the errors and adjust the parameters. Once the model has learned all the input data, we can introduce a new input to the model and let the model process. If the model is good enough, then it should be able to indicate whether the input is an apple or not. So no matter the answer is correct or not, it is always a prediction result of the model we just trained. We can repeat this whole process many iterations and modify the model according till we are good with the model performance. So after we understand the training part, let us look at the whole process from a large perspective, seen from the whole machine learning deployment or development process. The very first step is data acquisition. From here, we need to collect the data we need and convert them into a digital domain. Sometimes data from the real world is not suitable for computer processing, which is why we need to convert, or we are referring to the digital domain. The next step is data cleaning. In most cases, the data we collect contains null values or some duplicates or redundant values. Or the format of these values is different. So no matter which case, we need to clean up the raw data and make it in a good format and sufficient for the next step. Once we have the cleaned data, we will just follow the steps as we learned from the last slide, the one we call as training process. We need to feed the data into the model for training and keep optimize the model. Within this process, we will keep training and testing till the performance is good enough. When we are already satisfied with the current model version, the last step occurs. We will deploy the model to our users or seeing our clients. As we already talked about the training part, let's discuss about the data in more details. So usually after collecting and cleaning the data, we are going to split the data into different data sets. We will use some data for training, others for validation, and the rest for the testing. You may be curious about how we divided the data set into different categories. Actually, there are many ways to split the data set on the internet. Some people say that we need to do it according to 8 to 1 to 1, while others say that we need to divide it according to like 7 to 1 or just 7-1-2. Even in your academic books or from your professors, you may have heard that we only need the training data and the test data in a ratio of 8 to 2. I will say that all of them are correct. The reason is that split methods and the ratio highly depending on the actual situations. We cannot talk about or build a model without considering the actual user case. At the very beginning stage, when you learn machine learning, you can follow any method you see on the internet. Although we say case by case, or it always depends, but these types of split strategies are suitable for most of the cases. Okay, that's all the knowledge-based content we introduced in this video. In the next two videos, we will introduce all the metrics that measure the performance of supervised learning models. One video, we are going to show the classification metrics, and the other is for the regression metrics. Let's keep looking forward to that. Okay, that's all for today's videos, and thanks for watching again. Wish you all have a great day, and see you in my next videos.